Welcome back to Wrestling Ruined Our Marriage. My name is Tanner. This here is Cammy.
I guess.
And we are ready for AEW All Out.
Woo!
I got my shirt just in time. It showed up yesterday. I bought it on the day that CM Punk came back. It was sold out very, very fast. It took me like 5 hours of just hitting refresh on the screen. I had it on my phone. I had it on the iPad. I had it on the computer.
You were one of the lucky ones.
Over and over and over. Arrived just in time. So, news just broke that Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage is officially the main event of the night.
That'll be fun.
That should be pretty good. Does that set up for the Bryan Danielson, I wouldn't say return.
Debut.
The debut of Mr. Bryan. We will see what happens there. You have rumors, is Adam Cole coming over there? You know, his wife works over there. She's got a nice little match tonight for the championship as well. All kinds of crazy stuff. And you also have, who else is floating around in the air? Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman. That he had some like teasers that was
more
like
toward,
the Titan.
Yeah, it was more toward your Impact, but the name still floats around out there.
Yeah.
I think your biggest, money hitter is either going to be Cole or Bryan Danielson if they had it. I mean, CM Punk kind of dropped you just got to be a little bit more patient a couple weeks ago. So hopefully this was, patience pays off. We'll see if they can make somebody. AEW, everybody fits in there well with his style, his size. I think that if he goes over to AEW, talking about Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, if he goes over there, I think all these guys are good to his size. They're going to highlight his skills. So just go through the matches real quick. We'll start off with the Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Wheeler Yuta, and the Jurassic Express versus Matt Hardy's guys. He's got the Private Party and TH2 with him. He hasn't been on too good of a streak lately. We'll see if he can come out of it here. I'm going to say that the Orange Cassidy and Jurassic Express team is going to go over. Orange Cassidy still got a pretty good, backing to him. Yeah. We'll see what Hardy can do. He still put on a good show. You also have the all-out battle royale, essentially, where the winner gets the number one contender spot for the Women's Championship, which will move us right to the Women's Championship. I don't know who I got in that one. That one's going to be pretty crazy. There's, 20 people in there, so we'll see how that one goes.
Be interesting.
I don't really have a favorite going into that one, but you do have the championship match between Britt Baker and Chris Statlander. The Alien Statlander. She came up. We watched her when she came about 2 years ago now. No, I guess over a year ago.
A year ago. And I wasn't I wasn't feeling the whole alien thing at the time, but, maybe it's
coming up. We'll see. We'll see if Britt Baker can take it.
10 times.
Right? Then you have Paul White versus Mr. Marshall. I want to see Paul, bring back some old moves and just dominate. We'll see if he comes back. My money's on Paul tonight. We'll see if he can get, some good backing behind him and see if he can get on a roll over here at AEW. See if he can get his career back on track. He did leave. He left WWE to see he didn't like where they were going with him. Let's see if he can, take off and kind of reinvent the wheel with his career here. Jon Moxley, your new GCW champion.
Yeah.
He is just showing up randomly for any wrestling venue out there, smashing people, taking their gold, and bailing. He has a good night. He has a good match tonight against Satoshi. And we'll stay with the GCW champ, who's also been, he's been holding all kinds of battles or all kinds of belts over the last year or so. Yeah. I think he's kind of crazy. His character here is been a whole remade. He's almost like the Mick Foley of today's generation. The guy's going crazy. He'll go on any type of hardcore match. He's using, lights on there. He's throwing white light bulbs on people. He's crashing the barbed wire. He's lighting people on fire. He's got everything. He's a wild man.
Yep. What I really like about AEW is that they're kind of international that way. Everyone kind of floats around in whatever kind of division they want, and I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the wrestlers are free. Man, they got to be traveling nonstop to hit all these places.
For real. That would be a really hard schedule.
Then you have the TNT title on the line with Miro versus Eddie Kingston. Yep. We'll see if Miro can stay on a nice little streak there.
Some good promos.
Yeah, he's Miro. I'm shooting for Miro over here. Yeah. Then you got, man, what can these guys do in the steel cage? You have the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be awesome.
That match right there, I think it was on the first, AEW show I'd ever saw, and I was like, man, these guys are amazing. They reminded me, when I was younger, watching other big-time tag teams do crazy stuff. They're the cream of the crop when it comes to all the tag teams. Both of these guys are. I'm going to go, I don't know.
One Young Bucks.
Yeah, I was going to go Lucha Brothers, just because...
That'll be different.
Just because I want to see Young Bucks can come out with some crazy stuff too, but I want to see what crazy stuff Lucha Brothers can do. You can see everything they do on heights. Let's see what they can pull off on the cage.
Yeah.
The one that can break your heart either which way, the final fight, MJF, Chris Jericho.
I don't know.
Jericho loses, he's gone, MJF is there. What's going to happen? Does Jericho need some... time away? Is this going to be a little break for him? Is he going to lose and this is going to be, okay, let's go on tour?
Well, now that things are opening back up, that would make a lot of sense, because I think last year before everything shut down, that was like his final say-so before, his final go before he was going on tour, and then of course COVID happened, so he stayed. So yeah, it would make sense if he lost. Unfortunately, it would.
We'll see.
Man, MJF, does he not have just the best heel character? He's such a sasshole.
Yeah, he's entertaining to follow online.
Yeah, he's...
Then, CM Punk versus Darby Allin. Sting's going to be there. Does CM Punk still got it? Can he still put on one hell of a match, draw you in with the story? Man, I hope so. I think everybody's tuning into this. There's plenty of reasons people are tuning into this guy, but CM Punk's your biggest draw here. He's the one who got everything set up.
1,000%.
I mean, there's possibilities of everybody else coming back in, but even with those guys possibly coming over,
everyone wants to see CM Punk.
Everybody wants the Punk match. So him versus Darby Allin, I mean, it's
gonna be great.
You're jumping in. You're not just dabbing your toes in the water. You're jumping right into the deep end, going against Darby and the wild style that he has. So that's going to be a real test point for Punk. And then you're going to finish up with Kenny Omega versus Mr. Christian Cage. And I think everybody is believing that this is going to have a crazy ending. Whoever wins this, are you going to have Adam Cole come out? Are you going to have Bryan Danielson come out? What's going to happen? Plus the damn match itself between Christian and Kenny Omega is going to be classic. So
it's going to be awesome.
Can't wait. Have a good one, guys.
Stay tuned.